So we've got this Mittler Brothers 24-inch powered bead roller that we picked up used last year sometime. And we haven't really used it yet, partly because I got a few things I want to do to it, and I haven't really had much of a use for it yet. But the magnet here, our rat rod, is going to need a firewall, transmission tunnel, front and rear floors, as well as a trunk floor put in it. And the bead roller is going to really come in handy to do all of that stuff. So one of the things I'd like to do to this is it is a little bit unstable. Now, I don't think that's actually a Mittler Brother production problem. It might have been from the previous owner moving it around. Maybe he put it in the back of his truck and took it off, maybe dropped it or something like that, and tweaked the lower frame. So I want to do something about that. And since I have no place that I can set this thing and leave it there the whole time I'm working, I got to pull it out and put it back, and just dragging it around is kind of a pain in the butt. So we're going to be including some sort of a caster kit as part of it so that we can move it around and make it stable and not roll around on us, either with locking casters, lifting casters, something like that. And we haven't figured that out yet, but you'll see as we go along. As we figure it out, you'll see it. Now, hopefully we'll do all this in one video, but it might be two. We'll see how long it goes. So now the other thing is, this thing came with just one set of dies. These are 1/8 inch step dies. Now, these are probably would be enough to do everything we need to do with this thing if we design it right and keep it pretty simple. But we would like to have the option to be able to do more than just an 1/8 inch step. My buddy who owns this car said, hey, I'll go ahead and buy you one of those kits of the multiple dies to give you the options to do whatever we want to do. Until he looked up Mittler Brothers' price and said, yeah, I'm not going to spend that much money. What else is out there? The other thing is, to use all of these different dies, you really need the adjustable collars on your machine. This one doesn't have that. So Mittler Brothers does offer the adjustable shafts as replacement parts, so we could just buy them right off of them and put them in here. But they are about $550 to buy both the upper and the lower shaft with the adjustment collars. And we're a budget-minded channel working on budget-minded projects, and quite frankly, we didn't spend that much on this whole setup to start with, so we don't want to spend that kind of money. Now, the other option is I could just buy the collars. They're about $100 a piece, and then turn these down to fit the new collars, but my lathe isn't big enough to do these things, and I don't have access to a bigger lathe like I used to, which means I have to take them to a machine shop and have them do it. Well, by the time they do setup, charge you what, probably an hour a piece to do them, something like that. You might end up with $200 to $300 modifying the shafts. Well, add the $100 a piece for the collars, might as well just go to Mittler Brothers and buy them. So that's out of the question for us. So after looking around on the internet for a little bit, we found that most of your kits, when you're talking name brands like Mittler Brothers and other stuff that fits this setup, start at about $400 and go up from there depending on what all you want and how many choices you want. We found this kit here on Amazon for $140. Is it going to be as nice? No, but the quality for $140 doesn't look too bad. But one of the big differences is, instead of that nice little adjustable collar, you put this on the end of the shaft, and this becomes your adjustable collar, because when you slide this on here, this slides back and forth, giving you your adjustment. Now you're using a set screw instead. Slightly clunkier, but for our budget, we think that'll work just fine. And the mix of dies we have, we don't know what all we can do with yet. We got to play with it. But yeah, it fits our budget. And if you think it fits your budget and you're interested in these, and as always, we'll put a link in the description to these on Amazon. So now that we have an assortment of dies, where are we going to store them? I thought about just hanging them up on the wall or one of our posts over here, but if I hang it on the posts, then we know I am going to just be hooking my clothes on that thing all the time walking by it, so we don't want to do that. The new version of the Mittler Brothers setup has die holders right here. They don't hold a lot of dies, but they have one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a die holder to this. Now I don't want to be welding on it and have to repaint all this, so we're going to do something that's going to be just like a bolt-on design. So we'll probably put something in the back here to hold it. I might just put posts here, or I might end up putting a plate here with 2 rows. We'll figure that out as we go. The first step is we need to disassemble this thing, because I don't want to play with this whole unit just like it is. I want to work with the stand, maybe up on the workbench. But I'm on a bit of a weight restriction at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and take the drive off first, get it out of the way, and then we can take this off. So after looking down in there, looking how it looks like it comes apart, I should just be able to take these 2 bolts out and take this whole motor assembly off. It'd be nicer to take this off. When I go to put it back together, we'll take this off, put it together in 2 pieces. But this is what they call Lovejoy style coupling. That was the original company, just like Kleenex brand for tissues. That goes in there. And then the other side keys into it. It gives it a slightly flexible joint, something that I'm used to working with from working with farm equipment, because I used to build a lot of farm and industrial equipment. And now we just need to take this off, get this out of here, then I can work with the stand all by itself. So spending a little bit of time thinking about it and perusing around Amazon to see what I could find for casters, I think I found something that's going to work, and I've got them on order, but they're not here yet. They are a set of retractable workbench casters. So it's got a lever on it, you can just push down on it, it'll raise it up 3/4 of an inch, then you can move it around and then pop it back down and set it on the ground. And then I found some 2-inch diameter rubber foot pads, adjustable foot pads, and I'm not 100% sure they're going to work yet. They have to see how hard the rubber is and how thick they actually are to see if it holds this thing steady or not. And if it doesn't, well, you know, I'll find some nylon ones or just some metal ones, something else to do it, to put in place of those. But based on the measurements, I made up this test bracket here to put on the end of this thing. Now I'll actually end up making lefts and rights of these. But I can slide this right on here, hang it over 3 inches, hanging out 2. I could drill my hole right through here, put the nut here for the adjustable foot pad, and then we can put the caster on here, and then on this side we'd put the caster here, so they're all to the inside. And I don't know what my bolt pattern is yet for the caster, because they didn't give that into all the dimensions. So once those get here, I can actually say clamp one of these on here, see if I can, all my bolt pattern will clear, if it'll do what I want it to do, and then that should take care of that. If I need to, I can adjust this and make it a little bit different than what I've already got. This is made out of 14 gauge, should be strong enough for what I need to do, because we're only carrying the weight of this. We're not going to be adding a bunch of weight to it. It's not going to be being used while on the wheels. So 14 gauge should be strong enough for that. And as far as the die holder for here, I was looking around trying to find a piece of steel that I have here, and I was hoping to find 14 gauge or well, 16 gauge is what I was looking for, or maybe even 18 gauge, but I could not find a long enough piece that was wide enough to do the job, so we're gonna make it out of 20 gauge. Now, you might think 20 gauge sounds awful light for what I'm doing here. And you would be right, except for the way that I'm going to make it and bend all this stuff up and attach it, I think it's going to end up plenty strong enough. Because once I'm done bending it, this thing will actually be shorter than what it is now, so it will fit on there, I think, if it all works out the way I'm envisioning. We've got all my layout lines here for all my bends on both sides, and got all the pilot holes for all of the posts and for the mountings. So now I got to do is bend this up, see if it fits the way I think it's going to fit. And if it all looks good, then I can finish drilling out all the holes to the right size and look at attaching it to this and putting all the hangers on it. So now, does it fit like I want it to? Yes, it will. So we can put a bolt in between every single one of these, hold it on there, and that should make it plenty stiff enough to hold everything we need it to hold. So this thing fits about as well as I was hoping it was going to fit. So now I can go in here and get this thing lined up where I want it, clamp it on here, mark for all my holes, and I can drill and tap those things. And then I can figure out exactly what I want on here for hooks to hold the dies. I could put just short hooks on it and be able to just put one each, or I could put longer ones on it and put matching die sets together. I can actually have 16 matching die sets on here if I do it that way. Now there is a lot of bolt holes here, 9 of them, but with this only being 20 gauge, I think that's going to be the key to this thing being strong enough. I did rip out my shirt today. The elbow's ripped all out now. When you add up the fact that I got a hole here and a hole here, and missing button, I guess this one's done for. So, moment of silence for a fallen flannel. Well, let's get back to making some progress. So we got all our stuff from Amazon. Here's our casters I ordered. So they'll be sitting just like this in the lifted position when things up off the ground. And then you flip this up and that raises to lower it to the ground. So it's supposed to move 3/4 of an inch. So it should work. And now our feet here, they aren't exactly what I was hoping they were going to be. There was some discrepancies within the measurements that were given online. And I said, well, let's go ahead and order them, see what they are. I kind of like the fact that it only has a little bit of thin rubber here, and the rest of this is hard, which means it will not shake and move around as much, but this is plastic. Of course, what do you expect these days? Of course, it's plastic, but we'll have to see if this holds up here in the shop environment. If it doesn't, we'll find something else. Now, what I don't like about them is they are a lot taller than I thought they were going to be, because they didn't actually give this measurement. They just said it was 3/4 of an inch, and I thought the measurement was 3/4 of an inch bottomed out down. It's actually more like almost 1 3/8, which means this whole thing's going to be sitting higher off the ground. The good thing about that is then this caster will sit lower, which means the bracket doesn't have to be as big. But the downside is that means this will be higher off the floor, meaning I might trip my toes over this more while using the roller, and we'll just have to see. I'll go ahead and put it together like this. If it turns out to be a problem, we'll just back up and punt and do something different later. All right, so that's it for this round of modifications. So now we got this thing, it sits pretty decent now, and with the adjustable feet, if I get into a spot in the concrete that's not as flat as this, all I gotta do is just twist these things, make it level again, and it'll sit a lot better. And then all I gotta do is just Push these brackets down, and it's completely mobile. Put it anywhere I want it in the shop, and we've got our brackets here. I made these things to where the size works out for the original style ones here to sit pretty even, and then these will sit a little lower. I've used 1/4-inch bolts on this. What I figured I could do, if I wanted to later, I could always put a 9-lock nut on here if I've got any issues with them wanting to slide off or anything. I did make a little mistake here because I made my very first bracket and it all worked out fine, and then I waited till the next day to make the rest of them, and the casters here, the bolt pattern is not exactly symmetrical, and I ended up holding some of them upside down when I marked them by accident and had to end up re-drilling them. But yeah, it's together. Nobody would know it if I didn't tell them. So now I just got to put the drive back on it and then actually start using this thing enough to get proficient at using it and start making some decent panels with it.